Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast between Mo and Sam. We're talking about some business issues. We're very casual right now, and we're in Tulum, Mexico. We don't know where this video is going to go, but we decided to record it for posterity, for our children, for those who come after us, or for ourselves.
Sam is now an influencer.
Value. I've always been an influencer. I just haven't been public about it, Mo. Yes. So the question is, the conundrum is, we're talking about business structure and what do you do with a startup where you have people who want to build things. How do you structure the business? How do you corral the cats and bring them into a structure? And we were just talking about something. Do you want to share what's going on? Or do you want me to talk about structure?
I want to hear about the structure, and then I can go into actually the context and where there's a tension at the moment, at least in this.
Okay, so in the beginning, so this is just a general guideline for anybody who has a business. So there's 7 main categories in a company. Most of them are obsolete; they're not really needed in the beginning because the business isn't running at full steam. You're still building the product, you're still creating the divisions. We're doing this in a volunteer organization right now, and 2 other companies. And 3 other companies, and here's the principle: if people are not assigned responsibilities, there's a general feeling that something is being missed, and nobody really knows how to do it. Nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing. So there's a general malaise, a general feeling that everybody feels that something is not getting done. So there's kind of a panic or an urgency that's just under the surface and it's always there. And this is a common thing that people talk about in startups. So what do? Well, you identify the divisions, you identify the things, the parts of the company and the responsibilities that need to happen in order to make that company actually function. You put it on a board. Underneath those categories, you put the people who are responsible for those things. And in the beginning, if you're a solo entrepreneur, you get free blender noises with this, by the way, with this recording. So if you're a solo entrepreneur, your name is going to be in every single category, right? So you're going to be across all 7 divisions, okay? And then you start to find people who can do the marketing part, who can do the communication part, who can run the communication interoperable in teams, okay? And you start to fill in those positions and remove yourself from those roles. So yes, in the beginning, if you have 5 people and you're all starting a company, everybody is going to be in those divisions initially. And then you start to figure out who's good at this, and start to eliminate people from different roles or different divisions until you have a structure. Now, in one of the organizations that I'm building right now, I'm in every division. Why? Because I have to be in order to make sure that things are operating properly. Do I want to be? No. But my goal is to remove myself. My goal is to remove myself from those categories. That's my goal. That's my 100% goal. And that means I have less to do, less things on my plate. So, you need to have people in the marketing.
I'll tell you what I know, then fill in the gaps. If you're in technology, you need an engineering department that's going to build the product. Then you need like the product design that figures out what needs to be built. So who does the building, what needs to be built, and then there's the business development, which is, okay, the marketing, the sales, the connections. Then I'm guessing if you want to fundraise, you need someone to also handle that. I guess that goes under biz dev, but not really. You probably need a financial. You want to keep track of the financials.
Yeah, that's easy.
What else? That's as far as I see.
Yeah, you can break it down in any manner of ways. Like phase 1 is going to be this, phase 2 is going to be this, phase 3 is going to be the actual business development. That's what I heard you say. And that makes sense. Yeah. As long as you have all the different divisions needed to run a company, you're fine. However you organize them, however.
Am I missing anything from the list I gave you?
No, yours is just taking those categories and then just saying, okay, in the beginning, which is basically what I said, but I like how you said it, because in the beginning, we're starting the company, we only need these two divisions, basically.
Like, who can build stuff?
Yeah.
Who can talk to consumers? They'll be interested in what we're building, so we can have close, fast cycles. Because we don't know, we're just guessing with our idea, and then until we show it to people and we get feedback, then that grounds it. And then of course you have to like get enough of a sample size, know the avatars you're talking to because they have different preferences. But for me, the start is like, do you have people that's a people person? Or do you have someone who's like, I can build it person?
Yeah. And initially, there should be the people conversation in the beginning to see what the problem was. Like with the company that we have, with Price 360, that came about because of a need in the marketplace. And they said, yes, we need this. If you build this, we will buy it from you. We will use it. Dealership said it. Dealership chain said it. Consumers said it. And so we said, okay, well, we'll build it. So we had that piece in the beginning. And then we built something to fit.
Can I read you something?
Sure.
Let's speak. Popstar just responded. Let's see what he says. So I had these notes just earlier from my conversation. I have my style of selling. I like two styles primarily of selling. One is like survey-based selling from Ask by Ryan Levesque, and the other one is spin selling, which is solution-based selling. Those are the two models I know. But my approach, what I had to do in my way is, okay, well, I do research, I define a customer avatar, and I narrow down the avatar. I try to figure out where to find them. I start talking to them, but then I go and it's like, what are my pre-frames? What's the things I have to validate? And it's like, how do I have to frame this thing? How do I pitch this thing? Like, what's the problem that I'm poking at? And then if it doesn't work, I have different problems and I have different hooks, and I see which one gets people's eyes to light up.
That's
my colleague who's in charge, for me, that's how I see sales, right?
Yeah, if I send a message to somebody and then I gauge their response and then I change it for the next one. Yeah. It's very responsive.
And I like the qualitative approach. Quantitative approach. I like qualitative as well, but it's more like, let's just measure the numbers. The numbers don't lie at the end of the day. My colleagues, being that they're more intuitive feelers, more Tulum style, so this is the...
Dear God.
What?
I feel sorry for you. But anyways, continue.
But here's the part, is that it's not, like, again, to give credit to my colleague, he's a super communicator. He has amazing connections, right? He, like, does his thing right. I'm just trying to understand. Because I told him, like, for me, like, it's so unnatural the way you're explaining this process. And it's, like, it's tense. And I want to hear your thoughts. So his approach, he says, first, you want to, the how, is you do facilitative inquiry. You lead with questions, not with solutions. Instead of barging, as he says it, instead of barging in with a solution, the move is always to ask questions, to probe for the real challenge. The goal is to find their question. Then he says it's about mirroring them and what they're expressing and co-defining the problem. So you come to a shared understanding, and then you frame your solution as a hypothesis, which is like, this is how we approach this at the moment. The point is to invite collaboration rather than demanding acceptance of your defined solution. And after, you want to lead them to explore and test. And his whole framing is, if we do it that way, we get to have super fans, we get to have loyalty because you're focused on relationality first rather than like a sales system. And I like this worldview of it's about essence and relationality before systems and objects. Philosophy-wise, it's like being a coach instead of a therapist. Instead of telling you what to do, I just ask you questions to get you to come up to an answer. It's a very relational way of doing things. My thing with this is, it's very nice in the philosophy. It's very nice on paper. But then if I look at what has happened in 18 months, I've built things. I've built multiple versions. If you put me in charge of a sales and marketing department for 18 months, homie, I would crank out more funnels than you can fucking swallow down your throat. It's like spray and pray, funnel, run ads, what's my budget, how do we spend this, how do we I'm go into the market and figure it out. But my approach is very system based. And I want to honor the relational perspective, but kind of the way I framed it in the thing I read earlier is really, when do we go to the world of systems? When do we go, we've had enough relationships, we've asked enough questions. When do we just fucking because to go into penetrate into a market, it's yang. It's like penetrate. It's like fucking things erect now.
Tell him to build a system to do that. Hey, this is a great idea. Build a system that accomplishes that.
Accomplishes what? The relationality?
What he said,
Do you feel like that's a strategy that leads to actual, when we're talking about biz dev, it leads to moving things?
you're dealing with people online, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a point in the sales process where there's relationality. The whole thing can be relational. If you build the systems to be relational, you can build relational systems. You can. But if all you're doing is asking questions, then you haven't figured out, there's a punchline. If all you're doing is asking questions, then you haven't figured out what the problem is that you're trying to solve. So ask questions, sure, but once you figure out the problem, then you speak that solution, the problem and the solution, to the person who has that problem, put it into a system, and then get it in front of people.
Like, to me, it's a perspective that's beautiful.
He's in market research phase. To put it simply. Which has its place. And it's good to have that feedback.
You gotta shift the gear.
You have to shift the gear.
It landed angel investors. There's guys that are giving us money and supporting us because they believe in the mission. We build a relationship and it's beautiful. But that doesn't scale. We can't just ask everybody questions. Like, at some point you're like, okay, we've had people that are like super high level advising. Like Jen, advise us. You know, we have like some people from like, it's like, let's listen to them. They told us, like, enough questions.
Yeah.
Baraka, yalla.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But it's like, I get
so just tell this guy, say, this is a great idea. Please build a system that accomplishes what you're saying and sells the product.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, but build a system. What do you need to build that system? Like, list the people, list how much time it's going to take, figure out an average closing rate. How do you actually close people? What does the sales page look like? Like, figure out the system.
Measurements.
Figure out the system to sell the product. Because if we don't sell the product, we don't have a business. So figure that system out. I'll figure out how I would do it, and then let's split test it and see what happens.
I like that.
Both of them can win, and they like, his may end up showing something that can be incorporated into yours, but you have to have the systems. Period. You're on the right track.
Is this straight up? Like, am I crazy? Like, I get you have a bunch of business experience, you've advised all these people, but it's like, at this state, at some point, like, things gotta move. Like, I'm not gonna build more shit. I'm done building things. I love building things, but I want people to see them. Like, you saw when my boy Kevin came, and it's like, we hackathon a thing, we come to OTs, we just show it to people, and then we iterate, because people tell us what to build. And they're like,
You've already got the market research right here.
This is the market research department.
Yeah.
Next year I'll have the same setup. Maybe like, free astrology reading, sit here.
Yeah, so you just gotta
systematize your relationality.
You have to put the sales process in place. Really? He's talking about a feedback system, a form system, which has its place. You have to have feedback, period. You have to have feedback. But when you're close, get it out there. Get it out there to people.
Can I show you a demo?
Yeah.
So this is it's a work in progress. I don't know if I showed you the version before. I called it Spectacle, the new page.
I think we're going to call this Spontaneous Podcasts.
Spontaneous pause.
We're having a conversation. Do you want to listen? We're not editing anything, so you get the pauses as well. I'm just filling the air almost.
Let's see when Sam's going to check out somebody walking by. Okay, so very simple. You come in here. Imagine this is an app, right? You can check in.
It's a secret. You get to check it out later. Go to the website. It'll be posted below.
And again, the UI UX needs love, blah, blah, blah. I just want to walk you through the functionality. You check in. You check in here. Right, the voice agent is going to activate. You can't hear it now, but basically, it'll talk to you. It's going to be friendly. It's going to be a good coach. It's going to get to know you better. Then you're part of other circles, which could be romantic, such as your laugh partner. It could be family, the family unit. It could be your co-founders. It could be anything else. Close friends. Then let's say I have my co-founders, and then what I actually want to do is I want to start a pulse. I want to get a pulse on something. And the question set is, let's say, our growing together patterns, which is going to be eventually be able to create their own, but the idea is like, here's a set of questions, it's predefined, that now I can log in, and it would ask me about my perspective, and it's going to be curious and get to know me. I can also talk to it. Hello, it's loud here. And then I can have a conversation like this instead. But really the idea is that this actually gets sent out to the team and my co-founders.
Yeah.
And when we all respond to this, we created a shared mind together. where we can all tap into. I can send you a demo on another UI that's not as nice and polished as this, but it's like the culture thing, right?
Can we test this out with our current team?
I would absolutely love to test it out.
I'd love to.
It's a B2B, like that's the main use case.
Yeah.
And then let's say you want to test it out. Here's what you do. You come here, your circle is like...
Actually, I've got two projects you could run this through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend's startup. And then the relationship type, it's working professional, describe, no description, email, give me your emails, right? I put in the emails.
Yeah.
Here, put mails, blah, blah, blah.
And so it's going to ask questions
and then
about...
configure the pulse. And it's like workspace dynamics and work-life balance, create the circle. And then you're going to get it in your emails, you get an invitation. And then we just created a circle called My Friend Startup. And then I can check in and I'll answer the question set. And
yeah,
I can...
because we just expanded our team. We're at like
for onboarding.
Like 10 or 11 people now. And yeah, it's good to know how we work together, which is the point of this. But you've
Shared
changed
mind.
this since I saw this last, where before it was based around businesses and the team. Now this seems to work
Agnostic,
for everything.
anything. Because we realize it's the same pattern.
It's the same for everybody. Yeah, this is where I thought that it was pigeonholed. And I was like, yeah, maybe this could work. But now that you've changed it and used the same algorithm for relationships, friendships,
Because it's the same pattern. Is I just want to create shared minds for people. Where...
Because even when, I mean, one of the things I did in my logistics company is I would get people's birth dates, their birth time, where they were born, and I would run them through different algorithms to figure out who they were. And then I would determine sometimes that I've got them in the wrong position and I needed to move them to a different position. I'd go, oh, that's why he's struggling there. He's in the wrong role. And then I would find ways to...
The build is like, how can you build a shared intelligence for these things? If async, I can't get a hold of my team. One of them is a pop star. The other one is at a festival with his family. And I'm like, oh, there's something we don't agree in. And I would like start a pulse.
Yeah.
If there's a girl recently, it's just her relationship thing has been complicated. And I'm like, literally, I'll give her the thing. I'm like, let's do it together.
Yeah.
Because like, we get to pick the questions. We both answer the questions, like RBDSMA, whatever.
Yeah.
We do the thing, and then we access. And then this shared mind is not you and your private chat GPT telling you exactly what you want to hear, driving you slowly to insanity. And me too. It's like we actually have a shared intelligence that like we're leveraging AI, but we're using the shared intelligence as a source of truth. And we did it internally for our communication patterns, bro. It gets it spot on. Because like that's the pattern. That's what everybody. That's the teams that everybody in the team has.
I like this.
And it's like super simple at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, I want to test this with the one company for sure, and we can throw this up in the Slack and get everybody to do it. And then with the other one, which is a volunteer organization, which is even more important. Figuring out who does what. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Nice pattern.
And then do you have a link that I can put? I'm just going to post this up on the YouTube. And then if you have a link for this, I'm sure we can get some other testers. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if you guys are lucky enough.
Pending approval of the council.
Maybe we can set up a paid test. It's worth it.
Yeah, but see, this is Neil's perspective, where it's like...
This is beautiful. You guys didn't see the visual that he showed me here, but it's like beautiful. It's beautiful. I could watch it for hours, just watching it move. I'm going...
Flower of life.
Oh, it's not even the flower of life. It's like relational, like how relations move and how they weave. Yeah, and the colors are spot on. Can I have that as my screensaver?
I can send you the animation.
This has been good. Yeah.
To systematize the relationality. Because I love the perspective of relationality, but it's just, as a man, it's like, it leaves me feeling very chaotic. It's like this chaotic world. It's like I'm just going to float around by, and it's like trust and also structure, surrender and structure.
Like what I do is I structure my day so I have time for relational moments like this. So today I moved things. Instead of being in a focus mode, I was going, I'm not in that mood right now. I don't have any set meetings until this afternoon, so I'm just going to restructure that. So I moved it so I could be outside, ran into you. So you create moments to be relational. If that's all you do, it's not going to work. You have to have structure, and then inside that structure, there's yeah. It's like we'll just put the house together, however it feels, however it feels right. We don't need blueprints. We don't need a plan. We don't need experts. We'll just, I'm just going to intuit how this all goes together. Have you done this before? No, but the spirit will guide me.
I'm sorry. Like Yucatan.
I'm sorry, but when it starts to rain and you're sleeping and it rains in your head, and all the fucking geckos get in, and and the mosquitoes are driving you crazy, you're gonna wish you figured out how much netting to put in your house, or maybe not to have giant cracks because you just intuited the board length that was wrong. It's better to have a designer. It's better to have an architect, and then you can flow. You can move intuitively within that structure. So my answer to you is number one, regardless of what anybody says, you need structure. You need structure. You need structure. You need structure. In this third dimensional reality, you need structure. Why? Why do you need structure? You need structure because it gives you a place to be creative. It gives you a space to let the intuition come out. But if you don't have that structure, there's no application for the intuition. The structure gives you a board, a place, a foundation for the intuition to have purpose. If all you have is intuition, then you have a backpack and a walkabout. Okay? If you want to build something, building, the name building, requires bricks, requires square things, requires structure. If you're just having fun and goofing around, no structure needed. But that's not what you're doing. You're building something for people. So you need structure.
I love that analogy. It's like we started with the conversation around how you can get in a van and live on the road, etc. And it's like you can also build a freaking, It's funny because you had both conversations, right?
It's been some of the most freeing time that I still think about is that non-structured experience that I had when I needed it, when I needed to get out of society, when I needed to have that space. But in that non-structuredness, eventually I started to crave structure. In other words, crave the four walls, crave a place where I could put my stuff and not be moving all the time. Right? I began to crave it. So there's places in our life for both. Our job is just to determine what time,
season we're in.
What's the season?
And I guess the same for a business. If you want to grow, you'll have to go through these phases of being creative and exploratory, but it's a ratio. Like, what's your percentage that you allocate to this high-risk creativity? And it can be like the only strategy, everything all in, all risk. Maybe some people pull it off, but...
I mean, just as an example, like, we'll bring in Elon Musk. Elon Musk is very intuitive, but he's also very structural. He's very emotional, but he also takes that emotionality and puts it into structure. That's why the company's run. That's why he's able to be emotional and do things because he's pissed off at somebody. Like, start a new presidential candidacy in a brand new party. Well, he's able to do that because he's created enough structure around these other things that's been built to create the funding, aka the extra energy, so that he can do these things. But that wasn't originally how it was done. You got to build the structure. Like, everything is about building structure. It's about creating form. I think there might be a time where we don't need to do that, maybe, but we're not there yet. The physical experience is about this balance between the yin and the yang, the absence of structure versus structure, right? We got both polarities, and our job is to find some sort of balance. And I feel like this conversation started with a question, if we want to go to questions, which is, what is the balance? What is the right ratio of each? And my answer to you is, you have to have structure for the intuition to have purpose.
You need to have structure for the intuition to have purpose, because otherwise intuition is just this wild energy kind of trashing around. I feel so validated, thank you. I'm a structure guy.
You do realize that they base ChatGPT off of me, right? It's called SamGPT.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. It's been tested.
Yeah. You're secretly
because they don't tell you.
You just hide. It's your alter ego.
They don't tell you how they train ChatGPT. They don't tell you.
They figured out how to clone.
Now you know.
Sam Altman.
Now you know.
The Sam Love.
I trained.
Which is like the light alter ego of Sam Altman. He can do all these shady things, and you can just hear him be a DJ and like preach some wisdom.
I'm trying to train the AI to be the best of us. We're working on it.
One thing I flagged off on this version, but in terms of like, this is me thinking in system, thinking in funnel, thinking in structure. Like, okay, if I want to get my friends to promote this, a lot of my friends here are coaches and healers of some sorts with some communities, but people that have a voice. And I added a simple toggle, which is you customize. And one of my there's two voices I would bring into the system. One would be the astrological one, because I already have a tool built that I can just plug in, where it's like, now it talks to you, but like the GPT is not only a shared mind, it can also be informed around your personal astrology. Then I have the Jungian one, which is if I know personality theory, I know I can get very accurate things. But you have your methods. Or there's another person that has their method. And it's this thing of you almost position it not as a B2C or a B2B, you make it a B to B2C or B to B2B. Like, you have your method. This is just the pattern on which you can apply your method, which is you get the pulses. You go like the guy
like
from,
that.
From the.
I actually have a part in my other business, in the deprogramming business, which is about analysis, which is about data gathering. Like, where are you now? And I've been looking for something that I can plug these tools in and have. So this again, what a productive conversation, guys. This is what happens when you leave the house. When you leave the house, things happen. Yeah.
One thing I was joking around with Nitin for a long time.
You just shaved years off my development life, so this is great.
And I was actually telling that to my guys. That's from you, where you told me it's all about incentive structures. It's like, you want to have a good business, figure out really good incentive structures. And you told me this. We had very, with your employees and everything in the past.
Yeah.
And it's this thing, like, I don't want to tell you that my method is the best method. It's like, these are my methods. And I will tell it to my friends, and they can join this platform using these methods. And I get credit for the fact that they joined through this and they're using this. Then you have your approach. There's another guy, Rich, he was telling me his friend who's a sports coach. And it's a method that comes from sports coaching, or you don't want to call it a method, you call it a style, right? Yeah. He has a style, you have your style, I have my style, and then we share the style to our communities, but around this common pattern, which is what ChatGPT doesn't do at the moment, is the shared mind, where it's like, we want to apply a method of coaching to collaborative with people, and then you get to really measure the results, because if it's a good method, it's going to work for everyone. People are going to have buy-in, because it's not just the thread on ChatGPT, it's actually like a buy-in on a style that you're applying collaboratively.
I like it.
Heal off.
I like it.
Have a heal off. Heal more people than you, man. We're going to have a healing competition.
Heal off? Heal more people than you?
Yeah. A heal off.
Oh, a heal off.
Yeah.
It's not
There's a face off.
A heal off.
And then you got a heal off.
It's like the dance off.
Yeah, it's like put your head in my heart. And I put my hand in your heart. And we're going to stare each other with love. See who wins.
I'm going to heal you more.
Heal you more.
It's like the taekwondo competition. You have them and break.
Can we make an AI version of this? Like you and me, send me the clip. I'll just be this, and it's us like stare down with love, just like blast rays of love into each other's eyes.
We could do that. Competitive healing.
Competitive healing. Very competitive with my healing.
Did you fully remove the trauma? We'll check.
Yeah.
And see what percentage of removal you accomplished.
Yeah.
Anyways, this has been good. Thank you everybody for joining. We've created a new format here, and we'll put some links down below.
30 minutes of cacao. It should be like 2 mates, 1 cacao.
I think this is going to be the format. I mean,
2 mates, 1 cup.
I've been thinking about rebooting my YouTube, so this will be the format.
Yeah, to YouTube?
Yeah. I'll send it to you. Well, you're going to be on this, so. With that, have a good one wherever you are. Remember to go for walks and go outside and
smash all the buttons
and say that and say hello to people. People are great. Ciao.